Chapter 9, The Return Trip. Earlier, when traveling west, the Columbia River's swift current had cut down their travel time. But now, on the way east, they had to paddle against the river's swift current. This made travel slow. Melted snow had raised the river 10 feet, and it rained every day, raising the river even more. When the corps couldn't paddle their canoes through one stretch of rapids, they walked on the shore, towing their canoes behind them. From high above, Chinook Indians pelted stones down on them. The Chinook would also sneak in at night and steal whatever they could from the corps supplies. The situation got so bad that Lewis and Clark told the men to shoot any Chinook caught stealing. At the same time, conditions on the Columbia River grew more difficult. The corps had to continue on foot. On April 24, 1806, Lewis and Clark ordered their men to hide or sink their canoes. Then they traded the things of value they still had for 2 cooking pots. The Chinook gave them 10 pack horses. Upon reuniting with their old friends, the Walla Wallis, the corps members gained 23 more horses. At a party, everyone danced, even Pompey, who had been walking on his own for some time. He was a cheerful and happy child, and when he did anything for the first time, the men were so proud of him, as if he'd been family. Of all the men, Clark was the fondest of the boy. He called him Little Pomp, or my little dancing boy. And then Pomp fell sick with a high fever and badly swollen sore throat. Fearing that he might die, Sacagawea never left him. Clark, who also stayed by his side, gave Pomp the medicine that Lewis had bought in Philadelphia. It worked. Although his recovery was slow, Pomp got better. Word spread among the tribes that Captain Clark could heal the sick, and they lined up to be treated. They paid Clark in roots, berries, dogs, and horses, all of which he gratefully accepted. Late May, snow blocked the Rocky Mountains. The Nez Perce chief told Lewis and Clark not to travel any further until the snow melted along the Bitterroot Mountains low trail. But Lewis and Clark and the corps members didn't want to wait. They left camp on June 15, thinking the Nez Perce. Each member of the corps rode a horse and led a pack horse, but the weight of the horses broke through the crust of the snow. Beneath the crust, the snow was 12 or 15 feet deep. When Lewis and Clark realized there was no grass for the horses, they had the corps turned back. 9 days later, they started out again. Now, the crust snow held their horses' weight. On June 29th, they were at the Lolo Trail, warming springs. Hot, bubbling water from the springs drew everyone in an ease, sore muscles, and tired backs. What a treat. Smiles broke out on every face, especially Pomp's, who, by how hard it was to climb out and start traveling in the snow again. In only 6 days, the Nez Perce guides had led them 150 miles through deep snow. To regain their strength, for a few days, the corps rested along the branches of the Bitterroot River at a camp in what is now Montana. They had last stopped there in September of 1805 on their way to the Pacific Ocean, and had named the camp Traveler's Rest. Taking a few days off gave the corps members a needed break. On July 3rd, Lewis and Clark split up the corps to explore. Lewis led seamen and 9 men on the horses north of the route alongside the Missouri River. Clark, Sacagawea, and Pomp, Chubonneau, York, and the 18 other men with 49 horses headed south on horseback for the Yellowstone River. They were once again in Shoshone country. Sacagawea led Clark's party to a gap in the mountains. She said that it was a shortcut to their old camp. Fortunate. On July 8th, they arrived at the camp. Months ago, they had sunk their canoes and hidden food, supplies, and tobacco nearby. Everything was still there. While the soldiers repaired their canoes, Sacagawea dug up roots for food. Then, 2 days later, after gathering up everything, they headed out again.